If you're constantly asking others what you should do, then you are disconnected from your own internal power and your own internal truth. Welcome to the Aligned and Magnetic Podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Ashley, intuitive business coach certified by the International Coaching Federation, and they call me the money mindset and manifestation queen. I take a spiritual and practical approach that's backed by neuroscience to help you make your vision a reality, but more importantly, doing it in a way that lights you the fuck up. If you're ready to create an aligned, magnetic, and profitable business so you can live a life and do the work you are absolutely in love with, you're in the right place. Get ready to hear the powerful questions and raw lessons that you need to create success your way. Thank you so much for being here. Let's dive in. Hey loves, I don't really know where this episode is going to go today, but I want to talk about your inner goddess and how I choose to work with my clients and how I help them to cultivate confidence, self-trust, and leadership to achieve the results that they desire their way instead of just replicating what everyone else is doing. It's so interesting because I don't think that if I said, stop repeating what everyone else is doing, I don't think you would associate or resonate with that because we do this subconsciously. We look at what other people are doing and we think, oh, I should do something like that, or oh, maybe I should try this, or maybe I should try that. And I think this is a very normal process. And for people like manifesting generators and generators, we do respond to what is out there. And that's good for our energy, except when it is crushing your soul, except when it is overshadowing your creative essence, except when it is overpowering your intuitive nudges. And I know that life can get busy. I know that it can feel overwhelming to run a business. And I also know that leading your business forward, using your intuition as your number one guide, is probably a tool that you will use for the rest of your life. So let me tell you a little bit about what I see happening and what happened to me too when I first started my business. So it's so prevalent these days that so many people are downloading or purchasing these, what the fuck is it? Master resale rights. So in my world, MRR is monthly recurring revenue, but it's turned into this master resale rights thing where you just buy this thing and then you sell that thing to other people, even though you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. Hey guys. Welcome to editing day. This is what we look like. So I'm going through the episode and editing for release, and I've realized that I hyperfixated on MRR, which I don't know what was going on for me that day, but apparently that's what felt like the right thing to do. And I want to just come in and clarify, because what I'm talking about today happens far beyond MRR, right? There are so many people that I have worked with, clients of mine, and just people in the industry that I have, communicated with, who have, paid thousands of dollars to be in these programs where these people just sell them on a proven method, a proven strategy, and, they guarantee those results. Well, a lot of the clients that come to me are like, yeah, well, I didn't get results, and I am coming to you to figure out why. So I want to clarify that because, like I said, it goes far beyond MRR. It's in MLM. It's in online digital courses. It's huge there. And so we're going to dive a little bit deeper. I'll pop in if I need to again, but just wanted to clear that up. And I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. I want to just say I get that, because I started my business in multi-level marketing and I didn't really know any better. I didn't know that there was something else that I could really provide. I just sold the thing that I knew I had to sell and that people were telling me to sell. But all along, there was something within me that was like, no, this isn't it. This isn't right. This isn't what you're supposed to be doing, right? And I didn't really listen to that voice. I also didn't have the resources to question that. Um, Actually, that's a lie. I did have the resources. I didn't realize I needed a coach at the time. And had I invested in a coach at that time, I would have been able to definitely access my intuition a lot sooner, access my internal power a lot sooner, and understand what that inner feeling was for me had I gotten support earlier in my business. I don't regret anything, but I'm saying this because if you are in your business and you know that something just isn't right, or you feel like off about something that you're doing, a coach can help you. And that's something that I particularly specialize in. So if you feel a connection to me and you like the work that I do, then please reach out and we can book a connection call. And I would love to support you in exploring that feeling that you're getting that just feels off. The other thing that can happen in business. So we're looking at our mentors, the leaders, the people who have the results that we want, and we are trying to execute the exact thing that they're teaching us. Now, the issue I find is that, this has happened to me a few times where other people don't really get what it is that you're doing. And this is exactly why I started my Done With You marketing services, because I know how it feels when there's even like other coaches who are like, that's not a tangible result, or that's not this, or that's not that, or like, I don't believe in what you're doing. And it's really defeating when you hear that from a coach who's there, who's supposed to help you and not like completely turn you around to something else. I get that. So I started my Done With You marketing services for that reason, because I do understand a lot of the healing and a lot of the energetics and the potency behind these things that a lot of marketers and honestly coaches just don't understand. Anyway, I digress. So, a lot of these leaders and people with these proven strategies, while yes, their strategies might be proven for them, they are not necessarily the strategies that are appropriate for you. Here's an example. You start your business, you absolutely hate social media, but you are trying to implement a strategy that is revolving around social media. Why? Why? Right? It doesn't make sense. So, yes, having a social media presence is important, but if you don't like social media, why are you focusing all of your efforts in social media? This is just one example. Another example is maybe even, creating like a free checklist or creating something that just doesn't really feel like you or something that you believe in. Now, I think that we have to go through some of these trials and errors to get to where we're supposed to be in business. Had I not had those initial kind of fuck ups, or like had I not put those things out there in the beginning, I don't think I would be where I am today, because each and every trial and error brings you closer to what you are here to do. And honestly, this whole message around like following your intuition and manifestation and co-creation and energy, even though before I was doing it in health coaching, I'm realizing today that my message doesn't change, because that is the core of who I am. That is everything that I literally work on every single day for myself and help my clients to work on as well. And while, yes, of course, there's some strategy in there, it always revolves around the individual and their intuition and what they feel really lit up and excited for. So these topics that I now bring to you today are topics that I never really knew I had in me until I went through my phase of trying all these things on that didn't work, that I didn't love, that I didn't enjoy, asking for opinions, asking for feedback, asking for guidance. And I see this so much, you guys, where I'll hop on a call and I observe, right? And there are so many different ideas. People are not short on ideas. Like, we have ideas, and sometimes somebody does need an idea, and that's okay. But often what people need is to feel supported in customizing their idea or accessing their intuition to execute an idea. Because here's what happens: we will see an idea, we will know it's effective. We don't know how to apply it to our own businesses. And when we stay stuck in that, like, oh, I just need to do this, I need it to look this way, but I don't know how it relates to my business, or they try to templatize your niche or your offer, like what it is that you do, but it's not actually speaking your essence. And so here's where this balance comes in. Like, there is a balance between strategy and intuition. There's a balance between that masculine and feminine. If we're not consulting our inner guidance to support us in creating these more masculine structures, if we're not consulting our inner guidance to support us in our messaging and all of these things that, like, everyone else is trying to fit you into a box and like help you to like niche and like communicate your thing properly, but if it's not reflective of your work and it's just sounding like everybody else and like you're using the exact same words and, well, this is supposed to convert, then it's just not going to work. So something that has served me really well is really learning how to tap into and access my inner goddess and build a relationship with her. And inner goddess really just means like the person who you are meant to be all along. The inner goddess to me is definitely your intuition. It's also the confident version of yourself that is deep within you, but and that who you really are. Like, think of this girl or this man, whoever, whatever you associate with this person. Think of this soul as the soul that comes out when you feel truly safe to be your authentic self. I'm so lucky that I have that with my partner, and I can be my silly, goofy, authentic self with this person. And I also feel on many levels that I can be that online as well. Of course, there's always like, I think, nuances to our personalities. Like, you don't always see everything that I am, but when we can be who we really are and know who we really are and bring that into our business, it can feel a lot easier because we are heart-centered beings. Like, we're all here to have an impact, but you can't have an impact if you're trying to be somebody that you're not. If you are trying to put on a mask and fit into some sort of proven strategy that so and so said you should do, but that's not really you. And, I've even heard from clients a lot of the time too that they've learned all these strategies that, sure, maybe are effective for some people, but they feel like they don't have substance. Like, they just feel like they're not them, right? So if that's something that you struggle with, I can help you. Just send me a DM. I have so many different offers that I can support you in, but send me a DM with what you're struggling with and I'll point you in the right direction. But basically, when we look for these answers from other people, okay, let me take it back a little bit. So I was someone, for context, who did all the things that I was supposed to do. I, for the most part, was a very well-behaved young lady. There were a couple times where I snuck out at night, but for the most part, I was always home at the time that I was expected to be home. I didn't smoke weed until university, when like a bunch of people were smoking weed in high school and showing up to class high. I didn't even drink alcohol until like my grade 12 year. I think I was like 16 or 17, something like that. I was a goody two shoes and I was very focused on abiding by the rules and living life according to what I saw or thought as to be appropriate. Then I think just had like, I don't know, my life took a turn. So I got married to my ex, who was Mexican. And a lot of you do know my story already. If you don't, then I married a Mexican. I'm now divorced and remarried, technically not legally, but anyway, that's a whole other story. You can learn about that story on season 2, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the podcast. So I ended up moving to Mexico. The only reason I moved to Mexico, though, is because I got my contract at my job that I was planning to stay out for the next like 5 years. Did not get renewed, even though it was supposed to. Some internal office dynamics happened. And I realized in that moment that life is too fucking short. And I wanted to be in control of my destiny. I didn't want somebody else to have that over me, like to not feel that sense of security and safety. Hey, love, I hope you're enjoying this week's episode so far. I need to stop and let you know about the Awaken the Goddess Within free masterclass. This is honestly a masterclass that has helped me and has been so valuable and impactful in my clients' lives. So, if you are somebody that knows that you have a greater vision, a greater impact to make, and you can see that you're maybe not showing up for that vision or you're doubting that vision, this is the masterclass for you. So, basically, what we're going to be doing in this masterclass is talking about, and I'll be teaching how to reconnect with your inner goddess. I'm going to walk you through a really beautiful meditation to connect with the goddess within you. We're going to identify the limiting beliefs that are holding you back from taking really big aligned action. It doesn't even have to be big, but aligned action and moving forward toward your vision. And number 3, we're going to talk about how to hack your brain to manifest the life and business that you desire. So if you are an entrepreneur or somebody who knows that they're here to have a greater impact in the world, whether it's through healing, coaching, whether it's even just through your everyday work, then Awaken the Goddess Within is the masterclass for you to step into the version of you who has the life and business that she desires with more ease and confidence. And the best part is it's less than 2 hours. Get the link below to register and you will get instant access to this masterclass. I am not kidding when I tell you I literally recently re-listened to it and it helped me. So I am sure that it will help you too. Okay, see you in there. And it's funny that I turned to entrepreneurship. There is a lot that goes into building a business, and I see all of the behind the scenes from all of the clients that I get to work with, and I'm so grateful to be with them on that journey and to help them find easier ways of building their business and ways that feel more true to who they are. Because something that I deeply believe in is that if you don't enjoy the path to getting to the result that you desire, then what are you even doing it for? Because the journey is not about the destination. Once you get to that destination, the destination is going to move somewhere else, right? You go to freaking Japan, well, next you're going to Australia, and then next you're going to Hawaii. You don't just stop when you end up where you wanted to be. You keep going. And so that's why for me, it's so important to always be looking at okay, what is it that I'm investing my time and resources in? And is this something that does really excite me and light me up? There are obviously going to be days where it's not going to be fun and exciting and rainbows and all of that shit. But I think that it is very helpful and important that we devote our time and energy to the things that truly do excite us. And guys, I just want you to know, I have so many conversations with clients on the back end of my business that I don't tell you about. And just because I forget and there's so much always to share, but there are a lot of people who are doing business in very unconventional ways and they are experiencing success. And I say that because I want you to know that just because you think you have to show up on social media and run a webinar and do the if that is just not your freaking jam right now, that is okay. And it is so important to build this awareness, this self-awareness in who we are as leaders and really get to know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, then you can't ever customize your business to you. And I believe that your business should be customized to you. It should 100% be customized to you because you are the one that's leading it forward. And if you don't know how to listen to that internal guidance and you're constantly outsourcing your power to your mentors, to your coaches, you're asking other people what they think and what they think you should do, which I say this from my own experience. I was here. If you're constantly asking others what you should do, then you are disconnected from your own internal power and your own internal truth. When my clients ask me, Lauren, what do you think I should do? What do you think about this? I say, well, here's the benefits of this and here's the benefits of that. What do you think? What do you want to do? What is your intuition telling you? Because what I think doesn't matter. What your mentors and coaches think doesn't fucking matter. Because what they think is only coming from their limited experience on earth. What they think is only coming from what they have been exposed to. And we haven't, I know a lot about business and I can offer a lot of that. And I also work really hard to know when to offer my experience and when my clients need to tap into their own internal power. And this is a really big focus for us. This is a really big thing that we center a lot of our time and energy on, because a lot of my clients have been told from the moment they were born how to do things, what to do to be successful, who they should be, who they shouldn't be. Why are you posting that? Why are you saying things like this? Maybe you shouldn't be so vulnerable online. Maybe you shouldn't share that online. Maybe people who want to hire you don't want to hear that from you. Like shit like that. And I'm sorry, but that is not you. The stuff that you are hearing from everybody else doesn't matter, because what matters is what you are here for. I know, and I got some backlash from posting my series of season 2, and there are parts of that I am proud of and parts that I'm not proud of, and maybe I'm just making that up in my head. I know that I probably could have approached different conversations differently, and that's okay. I can own that. I'm learning as well. I'm not perfect. But what I am here to do, and what I know, is that I am here to share more love and truth and just have hard conversations that other people aren't willing to have. And I know that I am here to lead from my own experience and to be an example. That is something that unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, has always been part of my journey. You know, when I was growing up, I was an example for my siblings, and now I'm a messier version of an example for others, because I think that life is messy, and I think that so many people are hiding behind their experiences and hiding behind these people that they think they have to be. And I don't believe that people are always happy with that. I feel really good about sharing from my experience. I feel really good about sharing with you what is working, what's not working, what I believe, what I don't believe. And that is just part of what I know that I am here to bring to my audience. That is just part of what I know my life path to be. I'm an open book, and I gain a lot of fulfillment from sharing and from providing validation to other people and an open space. So how this works in my business is, like, it's not just all about me, but the reason that I share a lot with you guys is so that you feel comfortable then sharing with me. Because if you can't tell me the deep, dark secrets that you hold, and you don't have to, I'm not saying that that is a requirement, but if you feel like you have to wear a mask with me, then how am I supposed to help you to take that mask off in your business? You know what I mean? And so I feel like there's so much magic that can come from being in a space where you can really share the thoughts that are on your heart and the things that you feel like you can't tell anybody. I think that we actually end up battling ourselves a lot when we hold in secrets that we don't want anybody to know about. And it makes life a lot harder. So when we can share that with somebody else, or it lifts this weight off, right? Because we're then able to process it and just look at that and be like, oh, maybe that's not actually as bad as I thought, or maybe that's not actually, I don't know, like maybe that's not actually true for me, or maybe that's just not a valid fear to have, or maybe whatever it is, right? But we can't move past it if we're constantly just like holding that shit near and dear to our hearts. So anyway, a little tangent about me and myself, but tapping into your intuition, understanding who you are, and learning how to co-create with the universe by stepping into your power is one of the biggest, most helpful things I think that you can learn as an entrepreneur. Why? Because we are the ones leading this business forward. You are not always going to have a coach or somebody else to bounce ideas off of. And speaking from experience, you know you better than anybody else knows you. And so if somebody else is trying to tell you like, oh, you should do this strategy, it's going to like totally explode your business, but you don't feel lit the fuck up about that strategy, or you have reservations, or you're like, yeah, I'm just like not really excited about that, then like you need to be 100% behind the thing that you are doing, because at the end of the day, you are the one taking the actions. You are the one that has to move the needle forward. I can't do that shit for you. And so that's why figuring out how to trust in who you are, how to connect with yourself, how to lean into your intuition, how to understand your body's signals. And this is why I take a holistic approach, because not everything is mental. We get a lot of signals through the body and through different, I guess, mechanisms in our body. Like some of us experience gut feelings, or some of us experience, just a knowing in our chest. But when we create the space to really connect with our body and listen into like what our energy is saying, then we can be so much more powerful and effective in our business. Knowing yourself and having that awareness of who you are also means that it's going to be easier to identify your mindset blocks. A lot of people get stuck in their mind. A lot of people get overwhelmed in their mind. And I even have conversations about this with clients who have been in business for years and who have done a lot of work on themselves, right? But we sometimes need that reminder to drop into who we are, to connect with our inner guidance, to connect to a higher power that is not just us and our brains trying to like work out the solution and how to get to the thing that we want, but really just rooting into what is it that I believe to be true? What is something that can help me navigate this path to get wherever I'm headed? And really being open to receiving. And this is something that I talked about in a past episode, but really leaning on your spirit team. So in my program, Rise Goddess, in Own Your Intuition, in Awaken the Goddess Within, this is my series essentially on really learning how to trust in yourself as a leader, really learning how to navigate who you are, learn about yourself. It's a self-awareness journey. It is a journey of deeply knowing yourself, your gifts, your mindset blocks, your everything about you, so that you can lead your business to where you want it to be. All right, something that I talked about in a recent episode is really leaning on your spirit team. And so a lot of this, okay, let me explain it like this. A lot of y'all are running around like chickens with your head cut off, navigating life, like doing all the things, but knowing the next move and feeling confident in that and feeling confident in who you are really comes from this peaceful state of, again, knowing yourself, trust and faith that there's a higher power out there that is supporting you. And that is something that I cultivate and help you to really learn inside of Rise Goddess, because I believe that each of us were born great, that we were born perfect, we were born capable, we were born motivated, determined, wise, and we were born with access to the answers that we need to have, that each individual needs to have. But we are so disconnected from that because of societal conditioning, because of what everyone else is telling you to do. And I think that the more that we can become stronger in who we are, the more that we can learn to speak up, communicate clearly what we feel, what we believe to be true, follow through on what we say we will do for ourselves, right? Like a lot of you guys make plans and then you're like, oh, well, I just like, oh, I'll put it aside. Like for myself, as an example, like I've been trying to get back into yoga for so long and I create excuses. And every time that I don't show up for myself to practice yoga, I am pretty much telling myself that I don't have my back, that I am not there for me. And so every time you make excuses or you make a to-do list or you say, oh, I'm going to launch this thing, or like I'm going to do this thing, but then you don't do it, you are breaking promises to yourself and you're showing yourself that you actually can't follow through on what you say you will do. And so there's different techniques, obviously, to address this depending on your circumstances and your background. But it's so important, I believe, to connect with ourselves, with our intuition, and to decondition, to learn how to tap into who we are, to learn who we are at our core, and to learn what is maybe something that we've picked up that's not helpful. What is maybe like a belief or a thought process that we learned from maybe our parents or siblings or an experience that we had. And to really decipher, like, okay, what is me and what is not me, or what is maybe just a part of my experience that I'm processing. Because what can happen is if we're not intentional about this, if we don't know these things about ourselves, like I've said, it can get in the way. Not, it does get in the way. You'll see yourself making excuses, avoiding. Those are the two major ones: making excuses and avoiding doing the thing that you know you have to do. So if you're ready to stop hiding out, if you are ready to be who you came here to be and fulfill that deeper calling that is within you, and to step into your magnetism in a way that feels aligned and authentic to who you are, then you are absolutely going to want to be inside of Rise Goddess. This is my most transformational program. This is a program that will help you to build a really competent foundation within yourself so that no matter where you go in business and in life, you can always reconnect with who you are and reconnect with that intuitive part of you, reconnect with your higher self, and not even just like with yourself, but learn how to lean into the support of the universe. I believe that the universe is always supporting us, or God, whatever you choose to believe in, spirit. Like, I believe that there's an existence, an energy that cannot necessarily be seen, but that is very evidently there. It comes in synchronicities, it comes in the perfect thing popping up at the perfect time, it comes in the form of divinity and chance meetings, and it comes in the form of miracles and blessings and shit happening that you just couldn't believe possible. I believe that that is accessible for all of us. And I also believe that all of us, not all of us, many are doing a disservice to their existence on earth by taking on the pressure and burden of making everything happen on their own. When I first started my business, I definitely felt like I had to do all of the things, and I felt like I had to figure it out, and I felt like I had to, it was just so much pressure to put like all of this energy into the numbers and the this and the that and figure out the perfect optimized headline and blah 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 blah. It left no room for my creativity, and at the end of the day I felt completely zapped. I felt like, why am I even doing this? I'm not having fun with this. And I've spoken to so many entrepreneurs since then, some who have made a couple $1,000s in their business, some who have made millions in their business. And this is something that everybody experiences. And until you go through a journey of really understanding who you are, tuning into your voice, your confidence, yourself, so that you know when something is or is not right for you, and you are able to trust that and speak that, that is where I want you to be. That is where nothing will hold you back. Nothing will get in your way. When we don't trust ourselves, we are walking on really shaky ground. We don't really have any legs to stand on. You are always going to be relying on other sources, other people's opinions, and all of that jazz to tell you what to do. But at the same time, you're doing a really big disservice to yourself, because you're ultimately not actually tapping into the thing that you really want to do. And here's the thing, right? Like, when I say, oh, you're not doing the thing that you really want to do, you may have an idea of something that you want to do that you're holding yourself back from doing. But usually what ends up happening is the things that we actually really want to do, like, we're not fully aware of them yet because we're not giving them space to even exist, because we are so distrusting of ourselves, because we are so focused on reaching our goals and getting to that finish line and strategically making the right moves and all of that stuff, that ends up actually blocking our connection to our intuition. Anyway, if any of this resonated with you, if you're ready to step into your power and to create the results that you know you came here to create with the impact you came here to create, I would love it if you applied for Rise Goddess, or if you messaged me about it, if you've been thinking about it. I have a feeling that this program will be totally up your alley and will help you to really step into your inner power, to let go of what's not serving you, to release the mindset blocks, and to really just start to radiate the essence of who you are into the world, so that you can start to attract the opportunities that you really dream of attracting. What most business owners fail to understand is that their lives and the way that their lives have been shaped greatly influence the actions that they're taking today. If you are somebody who knows that you're here for a greater purpose, you have an impact to make in the world, but when you look at your actions, there may be not lining up with that future version of yourself. This could mean that you are playing small. This could mean that you are doubting yourself. This could mean that maybe you're keeping yourself busy with things to do, but they're not actually moving the needle forward toward your dream life and business. I have a masterclass for you. It's called Awaken the Goddess Within. In this masterclass, we're going to be identifying, well, first we're going to reconnect with your inner goddess. I'm going to walk you through a really powerful meditation to reconnect with your goddess. Can you hear my dog licking incessantly her freaking bowl? Okay. A powerful meditation to reconnect with your inner goddess. We're going to identify the limiting beliefs, habits, and behaviors that are holding you back from realizing your vision. And then we're also going to go over how to hack your brain so that you can manifest the life and business of your dreams. This masterclass is less than 2 hours. If you listen to it on 1.5 speed, it'll be probably like 60 minutes. So worth your time. I literally used it myself recently, and it helped me see the ways in which I was holding myself back, because contrary to what you might think, I'm human too, and we all experience this at different levels of growth in our business. So if you are ready to start taking aligned action toward your bigger vision, and you are ready to do the mindset work that is required to realize your vision, and you are ready to step into the confident version of yourself who has what she wants already, then make sure you sign up for the Awaken the Goddess Within Masterclass. You are going to get instant access, and the link can be found in the show notes or the description box below. I love you. Anyway, if you had any questions, if you enjoyed this episode, I would love it, first of all, if you shared your questions with me. I would love to answer them. And second of all, if you shared this episode with somebody that you maybe thought of or that could benefit from this. I will see you in the next episode, sending you so much love and abundance. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast today. If you like what you heard, I would love it if you left a review. If you like my vibe, come and hang with me in my Facebook or Telegram group. I'll drop the link to my email list below, where you can get instant access. Make sure you check the show notes for any other links that I mentioned today. And until next time, I'm sending you waves of abundance.